The tale I'm about to share is not for the faint of heart. It's a nightmare that still haunts my dreams, one that unfolded within the walls of our very own beautiful home. My wife and I were newlyweds, excited with the prospect of moving into a historical home. It was a magnificent 1920s architectural masterpiece that exuded a peculiar charm. It was a sanctuary for our dreams, a place to hold us as we grew together, or so we thought. What we would soon discover, however, was that there was something in our home more terrifying than any ghost story I could have ever imagined. In the beginning, our new home was everything that we could have possibly hoped for, a home built from the era of the Roaring '20s. We were so in love with it, so much so that we became blissfully ignorant of the malevolence lurking in its corners. As the days and weeks went by, an uneasy tension seemed to build and emanate from the house itself. It seemed to watch and wait, savoring our vulnerability. Each night we heard faint, muffled whispers that we could never quite decipher. We blamed it on the old house's quirks and tried to ignore the growing unease that began to gnaw at us. An unease that reached a turning point on a frigid, moonless night. I was home alone, my wife away visiting family. That night, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. An eerie, inexplicable force had taken hold of me, calling me towards the attic, inviting me to examine its hidden mysteries and secrets, an invitation that I would accept, hoping to dispel my irrational fears. Until this point, the excitement of our new marriage and the bliss of our new home had occupied our attention, causing us to neglect the attic, which now beckoned with an unsettling urgency. Ascending the creaky stairs, I couldn't deny the oppressive atmosphere that pressed down on me. Dust motes swirled in the dim light as I opened the attic door. The air grew cold, as if the house itself knew of the sinister secret lurking within. The attic was a desolate wasteland of forgotten belongings, a time capsule from decades past. It was as if the attic had been frozen in time, its contents untouched by the passage of years. Old trunks and suitcases draped in cobwebs lined the perimeter of the dimly lit space, their leather and canvas exteriors weathered by years of neglect. The air was thick with the musty scent of aged paper and memories long gone. Antique furniture, draped in dusty sheets, stood sentinel in the attic's corners, while forgotten family heirlooms gathered dust on wooden shelves. Faded photographs, some yellowed with age, stared back at me from cracked frames, their subjects forever captured in moments of the past. Having felt that I had thoroughly investigated the attic and its hidden mysteries, I turned to retreat back down to the lower levels. As I began to turn, something came over me, compelling me to investigate the farthest corner of the attic. As I inched closer, I noticed a heavy, moth-eaten curtain. With trembling hands, I pulled it aside, revealing a secret room. What I found inside was a chamber of horrors. The room was adorned with macabre symbols and covered in sinister writings. A tattered mattress was stained with something that looked eerily like blood. My heart pounded in my chest as a dark realization washed over me. This room was a shrine to darkness, a place where unspeakable rituals had taken place. Fear clawed at me as I fled from the attic and contacted the authorities. Armed with flashlights that cut through the inky darkness, the officers approached the tattered curtain, pushing it aside to unveil the oppressive room, just as I had done before. What they found, and what I had failed to find, was a hidden door, a portal to the rooftop and the outside world. Just a short distance away, a tree, providing the necessary means to ascend and descend from the secret doorway. The discovery bore down on me like a ton of bricks. It seemed that an intruder had been using this secret passage to gain access to our home, creeping in and out like a phantom under the cover of darkness, performing disturbing rituals just above our unsuspecting heads. My thoughts were a whirlwind of disbelief and confusion. How could we have missed this? How could we have never seen the door from the outside? How could we have never inspected the attic before moving in? I tried to comfort myself, telling myself that this would have slipped by anyone. The doorway was camouflaged too well on the outside. Anyone would have missed it, right? The most unsettling revelation, however, had yet to come to light. On the floor of the concealed room, amidst discarded food wrappers, rested a diary. It belonged to the attic dweller, Within its pages lay not only an obsession with my wife and me, but also a malevolent intent to seize our lives for the sake of sinister rituals. The diary was brimming with ominous incantations and chilling drawings of my wife and me, rendered in nightmarish and distorted forms. A meticulous and urgent investigation of the house ensued. We relentlessly searched for any trace of the elusive attic dweller. Despite our efforts, the unwelcomed guest was never found that night, or any other night after. He had vanished into the shadows, leaving behind an unsettling sense of uncertainty that would haunt us for years to come. As I share this harrowing experience with you, I can still feel the oppressive weight of that house on my shoulders. The evil that resided within those walls was real, a force that had been watching, waiting, and plotting. The memory of that house serves as a dark reminder that even the most beautiful homes can harbor the darkest of nightmares. At times, the most frightening stories aren't confined to books or movies, but are rather concealed within the very walls of our own homes. Thanks for tuning into another episode from the Alley of Nightmares. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Until next time,